Good afternoon, dear student. This is Dr. Faisal Ahmed, Assistant Professor, Department of Pediatric Surgery. Welcome you all in our regular lecture session organized by Jalalabad Raghib Rabia Medical College. It is my fourth class, or fourth lecture probably. Today my topic is congenital inguinoscrotal swelling. Very important topics, and in your examination frequently asked you name some swelling which are present inguinoscrotal region or either inguinal or either scrotal. I think Department of Surgery, they have taken those lectures, and in words you have informed what's the causes of inguinoscrotal swelling. But congenital inguinoscrotal swelling present since birth, and these types of disease usually dealt by Department of Pediatric Surgery. We usually dealt. And those are the different causes of congenital inguinal swelling. You know that inguinal hernia, hydrocele, and cryptorchidism I have taken regarding cryptorchidism, mainly undescended testis. These three causes are the main cause for congenital inguinoscrotal swelling. Along with this, you can add perinatal torsion of the testis. If torsion occur just before birth, that is perinatal period, you can, this also may include in this cause lipoma of the cord and inguinal lymphadenopathy. Inguinal lymphadenopathy, actually this is common, not congenitally. Later age এগুলা বেশি হয়, তবে congenitally হতে পারে। সুতরাং those are the some differential diagnosis or causes of inguinoscrotal swelling. I think if you ask further are the cause of congenital inguinoscrotal swelling, upper 3 is enough for your level. So among them today, I will try to discuss inguinal hernia, hydrocele, these two topics. Very, very important in your examination, both viva as well as written. Before going the elaborate discussion, I want to show the definition of a hernia. This is universal definition, and many of you fail to ask. It's my experience when I have taken your examination or your senior's examination, then I found that you failed to define this. This definition is from Valley and Love, and I think you all should memorize properly. A hernia is a protrusion of a viscous or part of viscous through an abnormal opening in the wall of its cavity. Yeah, I want to say that hernia, inguinal hernia, it is common also in general surgery, but more common in pediatric surgery. That's why there will be some march, and I will try to limit it to my department, to my age group actually. Whenever you asked regarding pediatric hernia, then you answered as adult hernia. That's why will emphasize in this field. So this is the classification of hernia. Actually, you all know, and it has been written in your books also. But whenever you ask what is the classification of hernia, then you give also false answer, or you fail to understand properly. You told that direct hernia, indirect hernia, reversible, irreversible. Actually, this is not complete. You have to answer in such way. Generally, hernia is classified by two ways. One is anatomical and another is clinical. Anatomically, it can be external, it may be external, may be internal. External hernia include inguinal, femoral, umbilical, paraumbilical, epigastric, obturator, incisional, and some other special varieties hernias also external, which can be seen by a naked eye. But Internal hernia, it cannot be seen actually. This occurred in the body cavity or cerebral cavity. This is diaphragmatic, and another one is tentorial. And clinically, it can be classified reducible, irreducible, obstructed, strangulated, and inflamed. And I am not going details about these things. I think you know, and surgery, and whenever you will be placed in ward, I will try to discuss elaborately so that you answer properly the classification hernia. If you ask, so you have to write this classification. So as my matter is inguinal hernia in children, not hernia in the children mainly, and inguinal hernia mainly. So which hernias are common in children? If you asked, you can say that inguinal hernia in the inguinal region. Another one is umbilical hernia. If I get time, I will discuss umbilical hernia also today. Another one is gem- diaphragmatic hernia. Actually, it's not seen as because it's internal hernia, herniation through the abdominal content through the diaphragm into thoracic cavity. Another one is epigastric hernia and femoral hernia. It is very, very rare. But you can answer or you can say that femoral hernia, it is also sometimes it's can be found in the female sex of pediatric age group. So this is the common hernia found in the pediatric age group. What is inguinal hernia? It is external hernia. If hernia present in the inguinal region, herniation occurs through the inguinal region, that is through the inguinal canal. This is the inguinal hernia. It is one of the most common disease in pediatric age group, and you can define this way also. It is a protrusion of abdominal content through the processus vaginalis in the inguinal canal. I will elaborately discuss later regarding processus vaginalis. That is protrusion of abdominal content through the processus vaginalis. Actually, processus vaginalis entered through deep inguinal ring, then superficial, cross the inguinal canal, then exits through the superficial inguinal ring. This is the indirect variety of the inguinal hernia. And in case of pediatrics age group, all the hernia you can say 99.99% hernias are indirect variety. That's why if you define in such a way, I think this is also appropriate. Otherwise, you can say that herniation of the viscus in the inguinal region, you fail to memorize. And it is not so uncommon. 1 to 5% pediatrics baby has inguinal hernia, and incidence is more in case of premature low birth weight baby because premature low birth weight babies processus vaginalis fail to obliterate in time whenever they delivered, and it is more common in the right side. Why it is more common in the right side? Because right testis descent later and processus vaginalis is a contributory factor for the testicular descent. As because it's descends later, so it's failed to obliterate properly, and thereafter the right-sided hernia is more common and bilaterally happen in case of 10% cases. And obviously, it is male predominant. Some study told that ratio is 3 to 1, and some study told it is 8 to 10 is to 1. So definitely male predominant. তবে এটা ফিমেলেরও হতে পারে এবং আমরা প্রতি মাসেই এটা পাই। আমরা এক্সপেরিয়েন্স আমাদের যে প্রতি মাসেও ফিমেলে আমরা একটা দুইটা হার্নিয়া ফিমেল হার্নিয়া পাই। And the children's inguinal hernias are indirect variety usually. আমি যেহেতু আগে বলেছি যে it's occurred through the patent processes vaginalis, so indirect variety. 99% hernias are indirect variety. তাইলে দুইটা কথা এখানে first of all right side is more common, এটা male predominant, and another one is indirect variety. তোমরা যাতে পেডিয়াট্রিক্স হার্নিয়া যদি বলা হয় তাইলে অবশ্যই বলবা those are the indirect variety. যদি বলে যে ডিরেক্ট হয় কিনা very rarely হতে পারে, but mainly indirect variety. Don't merge with direct variety. So hernia, it is a matter of anatomy actually. If you don't know regarding inguinal hernia, you fail to understand properly. Here the anatomy of the inguinal region. This is the inguinal region. This bluish color is the inguinal canal, and this upper opening is the deep inguinal ring. and this lower opening is the superficial inguinal ring, and this is the epigastric, inferior epigastric vessels, this red color, mainly artery. If the herniation occurred through inguinal canal, enter into the deep inguinal, then passes through the superficial inguinal canal and exits through the superficial inguinal ring. In such way, if follow this pathway, this is indirect variety. If herniation occur, this triangle angular space, this is called, that is posterior wall of which point of the which posterior wall of the inguinal canal. SL-Bridge triangle, then it is called indirect direct variety. Direct variety is very rare in case of female. So actually herniation occur through this canal, inguinal canal. There is a speciality of the inguinal canal in small children যাদের বয়স less than 2 years তাদের ক্ষেত্রে this length of inguinal canal is less. Superficial inguinal এর নিচেই deep inguinal ring থাকে বা deep inguinal canal থাকে, একটা it is called the superimposed and canal length খুবই short থাকে. That's why ছোট বাচ্চাদের হার্নিয়া অপারেশনের সময় ইনগুইনাল ক্যানাল আমরা ওপেন করি না. No need to open the inguinal canal. সাধারণত ইনগুইনাল ক্যানাল ওপেন করে আমরা কর্ড স্ট্রাকচার আইডেন্টিফাই করি. সুতরাং this is the speciality of small pediatrics age groups, that deep inguinal ring lies almost directly posterior to the superficial ring, so that the canal is considerably shorter at this age group. What is the cause of inguinal hernia? Actually, there are so many causes and it is very difficult to memorize. But these three causes, if you can memorize in case of inguinal hernia, I think this is enough. For pediatrics age groups hernia, always indirect hernia. And for this age group, if the processus vaginalis become patent, the herniation occur, indirect variety hernia occur. That is, one is patent processus vaginalis is number one cause. And indirect variety hernia also occur raised intra-abdominal pressure and weakness of the posterior wall of inguinal canal is the cause of direct inguinal hernia. So these three causes are enough for your level. In addition to this, genetic, mechanical factor, not genetic, not mechanical actually, and metabolic factor as well as surgical factors also a contributory factor for inguinal hernia. So what is the classification of inguinal hernia? That is, whenever you ask what is the classification of hernia, usually you told that indirect and direct hernia. Actually, classification of inguinal hernia is indirect and direct variety. And direct, that is herniation through the posterior wall, I already mentioned. And indirect means that occur through the inguinal canal that passes through deep inguinal canal as well as superficial inguinal ring. এখানে দেখতে পাচ্ছেন যে দুইটা রিং pass course. This is the indirect variety. And indirect variety again complete and incomplete. In case of complete variety, if the hernial sac reached the bottom of the scrotum, that is called the complete variety. Sac এবং content যদি bottom পর্যন্ত পৌঁছে, this is the complete variety. And this two is incomplete variety. Actually, first one is Bovonocele. Here the hernial sac is limited to the inguinal canal. That is, it's failed to pass through the superficial inguinal ring. This is limited. This is Bovonocele. And another one is funicular. Here, it's past the superficial inguinal ring but failed to reach the bottom. Actually, it reached up to the top of testis. Therefore, the testis can be palpate separately. This is called funicular. So, inguinal hernia classification is this. Classification is enough, I think. I told you that I will discuss processus vaginalis. So in my previous lecture, when I have taken the cryptorchidism, that is, I told that some factor responsible for testicular descent. Those are the mechanical factors and hormonal factor. Among mechanical factors, intra-abdominal pressure, processus vaginalis, as well as governacular testis. These three factors are important for testicular descent. Actually, Processus vaginalis is nothing but a fold of peritoneum. Intrauterine life, when testes started to descend, actually intra-abdominal pressure raised, then peritoneum bulged toward the inguinal canal. And this bulging is called processus vaginalis. And that time the initiation of testicular descent, initiation of testicular descent start. Usually, if the persistent abdominal pressure, then it elongates through the inguinal canal. সাথে and assists the testicular descent. সাথে processus vaginalis also take part in this descent. এবং এইটাই processus vaginalis is an outpouching of the peritoneum attached to the testicle that trails behind as descent retroperitoneally into the sputum. Actually, testis retroperitoneally থেকে এটা প্রথমে abdominal migration হয়, thereafter it descend inguinal migration or inguinal descent হয়, follow in some factors, mechanical factors and hormonal. Among them, mechanical factor is the processus vaginalis, intra-abdominal pressure, as well as gubernaculum testis. Among these processus vaginalis usually obliterate here, usually obliterate. Upper portion of this portion obliterate when testicular descent complete, and lower portion it's become persist as a covering of testis. This is called tunica vaginalis. That is, this is the processus vaginalis. When testis descend, the lower portion only persists. This is called tunica vaginalis, and upper portion become obliterated, and there is no sac, totally closed. If any pathology, if upper portion fail to obliterate, it's form a small, either a small sac or a large sac. If the sac becomes small, only it's become communicate with the peritoneal cavity, which allow only the fluid passes through this channel and ultimately hydrocele occur, congenital or vaginal. This is the pathophysiology of hydrocele. And if the patent processus vaginalis sac is more, obliterate na hoy eta, widen, then peritoneal fluid along with the abdominal content, mainly intestine, also pushed or herniated through this sac and herniation develops. So I think you have understand this mechanism. So what is pathophysiology of hernia hydrocele? Outpouching of peritoneum, which is called processus vaginalis. Processus vaginalis lower portion, it's covered the testis, which is called tunica vaginalis, and proximal portion obliterate usually. And if proximal portion fail to obliterate, then peritoneal fluid or abdominal content pass through this sac and hernia or hydrocele. Jodi fluid pass kore, then it is hydrocele. If other than fluid herniate, then it is called hernia. So this is the exact mechanism of or the exact pathophysiology of congenital hernia or inguinal congenital hydrocele or inguinal hernia. What even in case of female? You may query, you may question that in case of female, they have no testes and there is no need to descend the testes. So is hernia occur in case of female sex? Yes, in case of female sex, hernia also, inguinal hernia occur. Actually, ovary also form at the lumbar region, thereafter it descend, and but it didn't leave, it don't leave the abdominal cavity. এটা abdominal cavity এর মধ্যেই থেকে যায় এবং homologous structure of gubernaculum এটারও একটা homologous structure থাকে, and upper portion of this structure become ovarian ligament and lower portion become round ligament. This round ligament passes through the inguinal canal along with the peritoneal fold to the labia majora, এবং সেই processus vaginalis or peritoneal fold এটাকে বলা হয় canal of Nack. If it's failed to obliterate, this canal of Nack failed to obliterate, then herniation can occur through this sac. So female hernia, mechanism of female hernia is this, that is failure to obliteration of canal of Nack causes female inguinal hernia. I can say in female embryo, the ovaries descend into the previous pelvis but do not leave the abdominal cavity. The upper portion of the gubernaculum become the ovarian ligament and the lower portion become the round ligament which travel through the inguinal ring into the labia majora. A similar process occurs in girl as the round ligament of the uterus descends into the groin at the labia. If this processus vaginalis remain patent, it extends into the labia majora, and is known as canal of Nack. Failure to obliteration of canal of Nack causes female inguinal hernia. So how can a patient of inguinal hernia present? Actually, childs are not as like adult. Actually, they fail to say their problem, their complaint. Usually mothers or parents, they addressed their problem. So it is very difficult to diagnose. Whenever they come to doctor, they present as a inguinal mass or swelling or bulging in the groin, scrotum or labia. In case of female labiate, there is a swelling. They complain that there is a swelling in the groin, inguinal region or scrotum or labia. And this swelling become prominent during coughing and crying and disappear at rest. That is reducible. যখন কান্নাকাটি করে তখন বড় হয় আবার সেটা চলে যায়। ইউজুয়ালি অ্যাসিমটোমেটিক খুব একটা পেইন হয় না এই ক্ষেত্রে, বাট যদি ইনকারসারেটেড কন্টেন্ট বিকাম স্টাকড and bowel obstruction occur, that's time patient may or party may attend with sign symptom of intestinal obstruction নিয়ে আসতে পারে। তবে ইউজুয়ালি obstruction or incarceration না হলে ইউজুয়ালি অ্যাসিমটোমেটিকই থাকে and just bulging নিয়ে প্রেজেন্ট করে। Older children যেগুলো বুঝতে পারে, they complain groin or inguinal pain during exercise, তারা বলে যে একটি ড্রেকিং পেইন করে। এটা this is the symptoms of inguinal hernia. কিভাবে বুঝবো? Actually, hernia examination is very important, but pediatrics hernia usually it's not given in your short case because it is very difficult. So কিভাবে সেটা examination করতে হয়? Small babies, actually it should be examined in supine position in a cool and calm condition and warm room, and observe whether any mass or whether any swelling present or not in the groin or inguinal region. যদি প্রেজেন্ট থাকে তাইলে জাস্ট প্রেস জেন্টলি অ্যান্ড ইট উইল রিডিউস উইথ এ গার্গলিং সাউন্ড। এটা পেয়ে গেলে তাইলে ইট ইস 100% ডায়াগনস্টিক যদি সোয়েলিং পাওয়া যায়। অনেক সময় পেশেন্ট কমপ্লেন করে যে সোয়েলিং, বা ডিউরিং এক্সামিনেশন সেটা পাওয়া যায় না। সেক্ষেত্রে হোয়াট হ্যাভ টু ডু, ইউ হ্যাভ টু অ্যালাউ টু ইনক্রিজ ইন্ট্রা অ্যাবডোমিনাল প্রেশার। কিভাবে করতে হবে? টু প্রভোক ক্রাই ওর কাফিং, নেজাল স্টিমুলেশন অথবা একটু পিঞ্চ দিলে সে কান্না করবে, দেন অ্যাবডোমিনাল প্রেশার বাড়বে, তখন সেটা ভিজিবল হবে। অথবা বড় বেবি হলে সেই ক্ষেত্রে তাকে বলসালভা ম্যানুভার করে আমরা সেটাকে, বা স্ট্যান্ডিং করে কাফিং করে আমরা সেটা ভিজিবল করাতে চেষ্টা করি। And if it is still not visible, then we'll go for examination, that is a palpation. This is special technique of palpation is silk globe sign, thickening and silkiness of palpating the cords. It actually thickening and silkiness of the cord. It in your level it is very difficult, but if you say that silk globe sign, যদি কোনো কিছু না পাওয়া যায় পালপেট করলে সিল্ক গ্লোভ সাইন আমরা দেখি, এটা পাওয়া যেতে পারে, এনাফ ফর ইয়োর লেভেল। ইভেন উই ফেল টু delicate this silk globe sign, then we told that we educate the parent so that they come in the next visit, and in the meantime if any swelling or mass visible, take a photograph and show us in a subsequent visit. Actually this is the appropriate technique of examination of a small baby for hernia, inguinal hernia. So diagnosis কিভাবে? Already it is mainly clinical examination করেই diagnosis. Clinical examination এ যদি fail হয়, then we can go for ultrasonogram. Ultrasonogram give idea about the content. And previously herniography was another investigation, but right now nowadays it's not done because it is painful. Actually water soluble dye inject into the peritoneal cavity, then wait for few minutes, and thereafter serial, after exercise and walking, serial x-ray film taken, and this dye passed through the hernial sac and probed that whether hernia occurred or not. But nowadays, actually, clinical examination and ultrasonogram, these two is enough. If your examination told, is there any further investigation, you can say herniography. And if they say that if there are any other investigation, then you can say that laparoscopic examination. Laparoscopic examination করলে কি হবে? Hernial sac or patency of the sac এটা দেখা যাবে, এটার অ্যাডভান্টেজ, ইট ইজ থেরাপিউটিক এজ ওয়েল এজ বাইলেটারাল কন্ট্রালেটারাল সাইডের হার্নিয়াল সেক পেটেন্ট কিনা সেটাও বোঝা যাবে। আমি এখানে লেখে নাই, তোমরা ল্যাপারোস্কোপিক এক্সামিনেশন অলসো ইনক্লুড ইন কেস অফ ডায়াগনোসিস অফ ইনগুইনাল হার্নিয়া, বাট মেইনলি প্রথমেই বলবা ইট ক্যান বি ডায়াগনোস বাই হিস্ট্রি অ্যান্ড ফিজিক্যাল এক্সামিনেশন। What have to do, whether you will treat or whether you do surgery or whether you give medicine or whether you left it untreated, must have to treat, and this should be surgical. Surgical না হলে এটা লেটও বেশি করা যাবে না, there is will be the chance of development of complication. And surgery is the herniatomy, which is the high ligation and excision of the hernial sac. It's done in under general anesthesia. And another important steps question regarding incision. In case of other hernia, adult hernia, actually incision is inguinal oblique hernia, but in case of pediatrics, incision usually we give inguinal crystalline incision. So sometimes it is also asked whether you see any hernia in pediatrics age group and which type of incision has been given. So you have to say that inguinal crystalline incision. Thereafter, we explore the inguinal canal by opening of the roof of hernial sac, inguinal canal. Thereafter, we identify and separate the structure as well as hernial sac and reduce the content. And thereafter, high ligation and excision of the hernial sac. This is the steps of herniatomy. If it's asked or in your written examination, these 4 or 5 steps is enough for your exam purpose. So as I told that, what have to do for treatment? Treatment is surgical, and যখনই diagnosis হবে তখনই এটা করা ভালো। যদি if past there is chance of complication, if it is left retained there is chance of devastating complication. Those are incarceration first, that is entrapment of the content which lead to intestinal obstruction, mainly intestine content হিসেবে থাকে, which provoke strangulation, intestinal necrosis and perforation, and ultimately septicemia and death. So these are the complications if the inguinal hernia remain untreated. What is incarcerated hernia? I already told that it is entrapment of the bowel or other viscera. Therefore, it is difficult to reduce. This viscera was entrapped within the hernial sac. Usually first year এটা বেশি হয় এবং patient present with severe pain and irritability and sign symptom of intestinal obstruction, that is abdominal distension, vomiting and constipation. And if you palpate, then you may feel a mass in the groin or sputum. And এটা যদি neglected case হয়, proper emphasize না করা হয়, তাইলে peritonitis, shock, these signs may be happen in late condition. So in case of incarcerated hernia, one have to treat it properly and promptly. Sometimes incarcerated hernia or obstructed hernia is misguided with hydrocele. যখন strangulation হয় তখন it become transilluminate, and some misguide with hydrocele, inguinal hydrocele, as well as torsion testis. To overcome this situation, in those cases, plain X-ray abdomen is mandatory, which shows features of bowel obstruction and bowel gas shadow in the sputum, as because the content of hernia is the intestine, thereafter intestinal gas shadow পাওয়া যায়। এবং আলট্রাসোনোগ্রাম করলে এটা bowel থেকে hydrocele and torsion testis can be distinguished, bowel from the hydrocele or a torsion testis. These two investigation of is enough. And treatment of incarcerated hernia, initially resuscitation, as because It is a cause of intestinal obstruction. Thereafter, surgery. Surgery, if the gut is viable, then reduction of the content and repair of hernia. But if the gut is not viable, gangrenous, then you have to excise. That is, in this condition, this portion should be excised and end-to-end anastomosis done, and thereafter repair of hernia. So what are the post-operative complication? Complication, you know that inguinal surgery complication of inguinal swelling, that is hematoma formation, iatrogenic undescended testis, exploration of inguinal canal provoke ascent of the testis. If it is not done in proper maneuver, ডিসেন্ট যদি না করা হয় তাইলে এটা আনডিসেন্ডেড টেস্টিস হতে পারে iatrogenic. Injury to the structure, mainly vas deferens, it is very important. Separation, during separation if fail to identify main injury to the vas deferens, and it is catastrophic actually. Bilateral হলে তো sterility হয়ে যাবে. Testicular atrophy, if the testicular artery compromised or injured, then testicular atrophy may happen. Content, mainly intestinal injury, intestine থাকে সেখানে content injury হতে পারে, recurrence হতে পারে, and pain হতে পারে. Another one is pain যদি nerve entrap করা হয়, অত এছাড়া wound infection etc. Also complication of postoperative complication of inguinal hernia. I think this is enough for inguinal hernia. Hydrocele, this is as like the hernia. The mechanism of hydrocele is if the patent processus vaginalis become patent and the sac is narrow, only the peritoneal fluid come through this channel and hydrocele occur. And if it is widened, peritoneal fluid along with the intestinal contents come through the patent processus vaginalis. This is hernia. So I think then hernia and hydrocele pathophysiology is similar. I have shown already. So this is the definition of hydrocele: abnormal collection of the serous fluid in some part of the processus vaginalis, usually tunica vaginalis. তবে pediatrics most common is congenital hydrocele. I am coming those slides later. So primary hydrocele, secondary hydrocele, I want to skip. This is very important classification. In your examination, sometime asked or in your written question also, we addressed or we prescribed what are the name the classification of hydrocele. What are the how can you classify hydrocele? Sorry, and you fail to answer properly. This is the congenital hydrocele, vaginal hydrocele, infantile hydrocele, and encysted hydrocele. And infantile hydrocele, there is a misconception to you that the hydrocele that occur in infantile age group, this is infantile hydrocele. It is not true. First of all, you have to understand properly that all type of hydrocele here, this is the normal. Here testis is covered with tunica vaginalis and there is no collection of fluid and the whole processus vaginalis is obliterated. This is the number one congenital hydrocele. It's like the childhood hernia, that is processus vaginalis remain open and it communicate through the deep inguinal ring, that is fluid comes and go to the peritoneal cavity. This is the communicating or congenital hydrocele. And this one is vaginal. Whole portion has been obliterated, but the vaginal portion, it is not obliterated, usually not obliterated, but free fluid collected within this sac. This is called vaginal hydrocele. And here is the infantile hydrocele. It is vaginal hydrocele extend upwards, but it failed to through the communicate to the peritoneal cavity through deep inguinal ring. এটা এই জায়গায় এসে উপরের টুকু obliterate হয়ে গেছে। সুতরাং this is called infantile hydrocele. And another one is hydrocele of the cord. Here the upper portion and lower portion, proximal and distal portion has been obliterated, but মাঝখানে একটু জায়গা এটা obliterated না হয়ে সেটা free fluid collected হয়ে গেছে. This is called encysted hydrocele of the cord. So I think you have understand that anatomical classification of hydrocele is those four type of hydrocele, and all four types of hydrocele present in case of pediatrics age group. Among them, congenital or communicating hydrocele. This is the communicating hydrocele. This is the most common hydrocele in pediatric age group, and rest three are present, and this is rest three are the non-communicating hydrocele. So anatomical classification of hydrocele is this. So you all know that how can you diagnose hydrocele? This is scrotal swelling. Actually, there is some fallacy also. In case of vaginal hydrocele, these features are feasible. Get above the swelling possible, cough impulse absent, non-reducibility. This is the feature of vaginal hydrocele actually. Fluctuation and transillumination is positive in all hydrocele. But there is fallacy in every aspect of this presentation. I tried to clarify those fallacy. Condition in which hydrocele present as inguinoscrotal swelling, such as congenital hydrocele, it is a communicating hydrocele. So এটা ইনগুইন পেরিটোনিয়ামের সাথে ইনগুইনাল ক্যানাল হয়ে কমিউনিকেট করছে স্ক্রোটামের সাথে। সো এই ক্ষেত্রে ইনগুইনোস্ক্রোটাল সোয়েলিং, এখানে শুধু স্ক্রোটাল সোয়েলিং হবে না, ভেজাইনাল সোয়েলিংটাই শুধু ভেজাইনাল হাইড্রোসিল শুধু স্ক্রোটাল সোয়েলিং হবে। ইনফেন্টাইল অলসো সিমিলারলি, এটা জাস্ট ডিপিঙ্কুইনাল রিং এর কাছে অবলিটারেট হইছে, বাকি অংশতে প্যাটেন্ট আছে। সো দিস ইজ অলসো ইনগুইনোস্ক্রোটাল সোয়েলিং। As these two are inguinoscrotal swelling, so it is get above the swelling, it is not possible in these two types of hydrocele. And I told first slide that it is a scrotal swelling. Actually, it is in case of inguinoscrotal, infantile and communicating hydrocele is a inguinoscrotal swelling, and purely inguinal swelling is encysted hydrocele of the cord. As I have shown that both proximal and distal portion obliterated, only inguinal canal এর কাছে বা মাঝখানে obliterated হয় নাই। সুতরাং এটা অন্য জায়গা normal, but inguinal canal এটা purely inguinal swelling this is, and swelling which reduce on lying posture, সাধারণত এটা reducible hernia, এটা তো abdominal cavity সাথে communicate থাকে, সুতরাং this is reduced on lying posture, it is reducible hernia. Congenital hydrocele, this is also reduced in lying posture, and another one is varicocele. This is the actually fallacy, and you are asked frequently asked in your viva question. And another big question is name some pathological condition in where the transillumination test is brilliantly positive. Those are vaginal hydrocele, epididymal cyst, cystic hygroma, ranula, and meningocele. Actually, I'll discuss later if I get time, not in this lecture class. So, what about female regarding hydrocele? Whether hydrocele occurred in case of female sex? It is a question. It may be a question from you. Yes, hydrocele can be occur. Yes, because it have canal of neck. So herniation possible. It's hydrocele also possible. But what will be the name of this hydrocele? This is the hydrocele of the canal of neck. Female hydrocele ke bole hydrocele of the canal of neck. Diagnosis is like hernia. Examination history, physical examination of enough is enough. যদি to get more information inguinoscrotal swelling ultrasonogram করে আমরা এটা other ফিচারের সাথে differentiate করতে পারি, but history and physical examination is enough for diagnosis of hydrocele. What happen if it left untreated? There might be hematocele, pyocele, testicular atrophy, rupture, herniation of the hydrocele sac, and infertility. This is very rare. ট্রিটমেন্ট না করলে এটা হতে পারে যদি appropriately not measure or not properly counsel to the parent. এখন যেহেতু congenital hydrocele is more common, এটা patent processes vaginalis থাকে and fluid communicate through the with the peritoneal cavity. এটার presentation I want to discuss in this lecture. Sorry. Congenital hydrocele সাধারণত এটা early infancy তে হয় এবং সেটা adult not adulthood, that is childhood এজেও থাকতে পারে, সেটা পরবর্তীতেও থাকতে পারে, and soft bluish flocculent swelling surrounding the test. And the important findings of communicating hydrocele is fluctuate in size. Ma or mother will give history that the swelling become small in size when he get up at morning time, but at evening it's become larger, gradually larger. It's because there is communication. এই communication দিয়ে আস্তে আস্তে dependent portion এ fluid collection হয়ে বড় হয়ে যায়। যখনই এটা বলবে তখন you have to understand that this is communicating hydrocele. This one history is enough for diagnosis of communicating or congenital hydrocele. And what is the treatment of hydrocele actually? কি করতে হবে? Hernia, whenever hernia will be diagnosed, you have to treat. Otherwise, there might be complication. And hydrocelular ক্ষেত্রে what have to do? Whether you will treat immediately or whether you will wait. Actually, we pediatric surgeons, we call them that no need to treat within 2 years, and there is possibility of closure of processes vaginalis on its own within 2 years. 2 বছরের মধ্যে এটা ইউজুয়ালি নিজে নিজে থেকেই বন্ধ হয়ে যেতে পারে। যদি বন্ধ না হয় তখন সেই ক্ষেত্রে ট্রিটমেন্ট সার্জিক্যাল ট্রিটমেন্ট ইজ ম্যান্ডেটরি। হোয়াট ইজ দ্য সার্জিক্যাল ট্রিটমেন্ট অফ হাইড্রোসিল? এখানেও তোমরা একটা ভুল করো যে হাইড্রোসিলের ক্ষেত্রে কি ট্রিটমেন্ট হয় বাচ্চাদের, তখন তোমরা বলো যে এটা যে বুলিস অপারেশন, লর্ডস অপারেশন এক্সেট্রা এক্সেট্রা। অ্যাকচুয়ালি হাইড্রোসিলের ক্ষেত্রে হার্নিওটমি, সাধারণত কমিউনিকেটিং হাইড্রোসিল আর কনজেনিটাল হাইড্রোসিল থেকে আমরা কি করি এই ক্ষেত্রে হার্নিওটমি ইজ এনাফ, ইজ লাইক হার্নিয়া অপারেশন। অন্যান্য ক্ষেত্রে such as vaginal hydrocele or encysted hydrocele, in those cases we also do herniatomy with removal of the sac. Complete removal of sac, it is possible, and this is also treatment. That is herniatomy must. You have to say that herniatomy and removal of the sac. But congenital hydrocele ক্ষেত্রে only herniatomy is enough. If complete removal of the sac is not possible, সেই ক্ষেত্রে লার্জ ভেজাইনাল হাইড্রোসিল যদি আমরা কমপ্লিটলি সেপারেট করতে না পারি, দেন ওই এক্সারসাইজ দ্য সেক অ্যান্ড ইভার্ট দ্য সেক, যতটুকু সম্ভব এক্সারসাইজ করে আমরা ইভার্সন করে দেই। দিস ইজ দ্য ট্রিটমেন্ট অফ হার্নিওটমি, দিস ইজ দ্য ট্রিটমেন্ট অফ হাইড্রোসিল। And I failed to told you regarding the treatment of hernia. Whenever you asked what is the treatment of inguinal hernia, this time you also answered wrongly that herniorrhaphy, hernioplasty, herniatomy, etc. But in case of pediatric age group, actually rhaphoplasty is not done. As it is direct and indirect in the inguinal hernia, your answer will be herniatomy. The single answer is herniatomy. So both hernia, hydrocele and hernia, herniatomy is the mainstay of the treatment. I think you have understood. And this is not related to inguinoscutal swelling, but I want to address for 3 to 5 minutes actually. Another hernia is umbilical hernia, which occur through the umbilical base of the umbilicus. This is the swelling at the umbilicus. This is called the umbilical hernia. It is herniation of intra-abdominal organs through an opening at the base of the umbilicus. এটা বাচ্চাদের ক্ষেত্রে ভেরি কমন অ্যান্ড প্রিমেচুর হার্নিয়ার মতো, প্রিমেচুর অ্যান্ড লো বার্থ ওয়েট বেবিদের বেশি হয়। এগুলোর হার্নিয়ার মতো তাদের প্রিমেচুরিটি এগুলাতে বেশি থাকে, বয়তে বেশি থাকে। And both boys and girls are equally affected actually, not boys. Both male sex and female sex both are equal and more common in the black. I don't know the reason why it occur in black population. It's a matter of study actually. It presentation is as like inguinal hernia. That's why I am trying to discuss. Why it's open? Actually, inguinal ring, it's usually closed by ingrowth of the fascia rectus abdominis fascia. যদি সেটা growth না হয়, close না হয়, then the gut, usually intestine, small intestine herniated this through this, and in umbilical hernia occur. So this is the etiology. This is the umbilical port. This is the umbilical cord and structure of the umbilical cord. And most of them obliterate before birth or after separation of the birth. Usually all things has been obliterated, and ultimately the ring closed. If this ring failed to close, then umbilical hernia occur. So কিভাবে সেটা present করে? As like inguinal hernia, there is a swelling through the umbilicus which become prominent during straining, that is crying and coughing এর সময় সেটা বড় হয়ে যায়, and at rest it disappear. Again এটা reduced করে যায়. This is the typical presentation of umbilical hernia. দেখবো যে তোমাদের আত্মীয় স্বজন কারো না কারো সেটা হয়েছে এবং অটোমেটিকলি ভালো হয়ে গেছে, and usually painless, asymptomatic থাকে, just except a swelling through the umbilicus. Pain develop করে if it is incarcerated, that is obstruction. Obstruction হইলে সেই ক্ষেত্রে pain নিয়ে complain করে, and then once need emergency operation. কিভাবে বুঝবা যে sorry, এখন কি normal, if there is no pain and there is only swelling, what will be the treatment of umbilical hernia? As like hydrocele. Umbilical hernia can be observed 1 to 2 years. Usually it's closed. This ring close automatically. No need of surgery. সার্জারি কখন দরকার হবে? যদি 2 বছরের মধ্যেও if it is not closed, তখন সার্জারি দরকার। সার্জারি করে এটা রিডিউসড করে এটা আম্বিলিকোপ্লাস্টি করতে হয়। এবং if the hernia is so large and gradually it's enlarging and its opening become larger during serial observation, বারবার পরীক্ষা করে বারবার ফলো আপে যদি দেখা যায় যে তার আম্বিলিক্যাল পোর্টের ওপেনিং বড় হচ্ছে গ্র্যাজুয়ালি, সেই ক্ষেত্রে 2 বছরের মধ্যে অপারেশন করার ইন্ডিকেশন। আদারওয়াইজ 2 বছর পর্যন্ত যদি অবস্ট্রাকশনের ফিচার না থাকে তাহলে নো নিড টু ডু সার্জারি। এখন ইমার্জেন্সি কখন অপারেশন লাগবে? 2 বছরের মধ্যে যদি ইন্টেস্টিনাল অবস্ট্রাকশন ডেভেলপ করে। কিভাবে বুঝবা ইন্টেস্টিনাল অবস্ট্রাকশন ডেভেলপ করছে? Patient will present, that is with severe pain, and hernial sac will be discolored. That's time you found that the skin become discolored and reddened. And hernial content, it is very difficult, সাধারণত পারাই যাচ্ছে না, এটা irreducible, এটাকে রিডিউস করা যাচ্ছে না, এবং সাইন সিমটম অফ ইন্টেস্টিনাল অবস্ট্রাকশন, that is the abdominal distension, vomiting, constipation, etc. নিয়ে প্রেজেন্ট করবে, তখনই সেটা ইমার্জেন্সি সার্জারি করতে হবে। Diagnosis, that is clinically enough, and treatment of emergency surgery or the surgical treatment of umbilical hernia is laparotomy, reduction of the content, and repair of the hernia with umbilicoplasty. This is the treatment. প্রথমে তাইলে umbilical hernia ক্ষেত্রে কি করব? We observe 2 years like hydrocele, 2 years পর্যন্ত অবজার্ভ করব। যদি এটা না কমে তাইলে আমরা 2 বছর পরে অপারেশন করব, সার্জিক্যাল ট্রিটমেন্ট দিব। অথবা উইদিন 2 ইয়ার্স যদি কোনো ইমার্জেন্সি অবস্ট্রাকশন ডেভেলপ করে or এটার সাইজ গ্র্যাজুয়ালি বড় হয়, সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমরা উইদিন 2 ইয়ার্স আমরা অপারেশন করব। আদারওয়াইজ নো নিড অফ অপারেশন। ইউজুয়ালি 95% of umbilical hernia reduced automatically. No need of operative treatment. So thank you, dear student. I think I think you all are in good health, and stay at home with your family members and carry on your academic activities and overcome this situation appropriately. Thank you all. লম্বা লেকচার নিয়েছে, অত সময় তো আজকে রিহার্সাল দিছি না।